He is the executive director of Georgetown University's Institute of Politics and Public Service. He's also the former communications director for the Democratic National Committee. Mo, I think you heard what Mike Vaquera had to say, and good to see you, by the way. How does the Hillary campaign play this right now? We're looking at the results coming in. We've got, you got about 20% of the vote in, and that lead is big. It's as big as some polls said it was going to be between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. How does the Clinton campaign play this? How does the DNC play this?
Well, I think the Hillary campaign gets the hell out of New Hampshire as quickly as possible and moves on to the next couple of states. Look, this is not, this is a good night for Bernie. It's a bad night for Hillary. And I think the Clinton campaign has seen this coming for a little while. They have tried to manage the expectations a bit, telling everyone they're going to lose New Hampshire. They're going to lose it pretty decisively. But if you listen to what they're saying tonight, part of this might be spin, but I do think there's a lot of truth in this, which is they're well positioned in Nevada, a state that she did win last time. Robbie Mook, her national campaign manager, ran the Nevada campaign for her last time. It is a state where the caucus electorate is overwhelmingly Hispanic, and she does very well with Hispanic voters. Then they go to South Carolina, where about 50% of the electorate is African American. She's doing incredibly well with African American voters. I think the last spread I saw was about a 60-point spread between her and Bernie Sanders with the African American vote. That is a good place to start coming into March. And then remember, in March, after those first 4 states are done, about 4% of the total delegates in the Democratic nomination will be awarded. By the middle of March, about 50+% will be awarded. So they've got their eye on the long ball. Those are states that are more demographically diverse, which helps her. Those are states where they've had a head start in terms of organizing. The math seems to favor her, but they do have to take tonight very seriously and figure out the best way to pivot. There's a debate in 2 nights. We'll see what we see at debate.
Well, what do you make, Mo, of the exit polling today that indicates that Democrats, like Republicans, have an overwhelming sentiment toward the outsider, and for better or for worse, Bernie Sanders, a longtime senator, has positioned himself as that outsider to Washington. Can this play out to the point where it actually disrupts Hillary Clinton's aims to get this nomination?
Short answer is yes, it could. I think it is unlikely that it will. But yes, it could, because here's what I actually think is going on in this election. It's less about a disruption election. It's less about an outsider versus an insider. I think it has much more to do with the fact that people right now feel like the system is rigged against them. If it takes an outsider to level the playing field, great. But that's not the priority. The priority is not an outsider. If they can find someone who can convince them that they are going to be a champion for everyday Americans, day in and day out, to level the playing field, then they'll be fine. Right? I mean, Democrats like both these candidates. They just right now believe that, in New Hampshire at least, that Bernie Sanders is the better advocate for them. Hillary's got to get back out there and show a little bit of the fight that she showed in the final week before the Iowa caucus, where her message was relentless. I have a long history of going to bat for you. That's what you can expect from me in the White House. If she does that aggressively in Nevada and in South Carolina, then I think she can get back on track. That seems to have gotten lost here a little bit heading into New Hampshire.
Mo, always good to talk to you. Mo Elleithee is the executive director of the Georgetown University Institute of Politics and Public Service, former communications director for the Democratic National Committee. Thanks, Mo. Back to you, John.